if one parent wants to go off and do something kind of with the kids while the photographer in the family wants to do photography, that would be a hell of a lot easier if you're in Athens or Thessaloniki or Limnos rather than one of the road trip ones.
So if somebody's more experienced in taking photography, the road trips would be the ideal workshop for them to learn more?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say if you're a more experienced photographer, I mean, any of them will be great, just because, if you're already coming at this from the point of view of somebody that is really into photography and likes to take good photos, there are such incredible opportunities to take good photos on all these trips. And when we're going to very photogenic locations, so there's that aspect of it. And also we're hanging out with local photographers on a lot of these trips as well. So you get to hang out with other people and talk about, lenses and what have you, which is always nice for us photographers who get into talking about those things. So, any of them will be great. If you're already into photography, we really aim at anybody from, the sort of rank beginner up to the more experienced. The only difference is that obviously with the kind of the rank beginners, it's more of a learning holiday, whereas with the more experienced people, it's more of an opportunity to just hang out with other photographers and just take amazing images.
As a professional photographer, what's your biggest bugbear, and try and keep it clean?
What's my biggest bugbear? I'm super blessed with the job I do. I mean, I get up every day and I'm just massively grateful that I'm in a position that I have. So I don't have a lot of the bugbears. I see a lot of this stuff online that professionals are complaining about all kinds of things, it seems to me these days, ranging from people giving away their work for free to, the dying of various injuries to, clients, wanting their ounce of flesh. I mean, there's every complaint under the sun that's coming out. For me, again, I'm always terrible at remembering who does quotes, but there's a quote that somebody said recently, a well-known professional photographer, about, other photographers giving away their work for free was the classic one that people complain about as pros. And he said, if you're, if a 21-year-old photography student giving their work away for free puts a hole in your boat, you've got an old and crappy boat. you need a better business model. And the thing is, the photography landscape is changing hugely. We're not in the situation we were, 20, 30 years ago, where there was a nice, easy avenue. If you wanted to be a journalist, for example, to go and work for a paper, there were secure jobs there, and you could move up into that world. With wedding photography, there wasn't anything like as much competition, because there were fewer people with cameras, and they were more difficult to use and so forth. And now, there's much more accessibility to photography, and all that stuff is true. But if you have your own unique style and your own unique voice with photography, and your pictures don't look like everybody else's, you're never going to be competing on price. Doesn't matter if somebody's giving the work away. Doesn't matter if they're charging $1 million for their photos. People will go to you because your work is what they want. So that's the first thing. And so, try and develop your own personal style with what you're doing if you want to sell it commercially. And the other thing is just be creative about the ways that you make money. I mean, I've got lots of different revenue streams. So, I've got the YouTube channel. I do workshops. I do, there's a lot of things that I do that it's not just photography, which allows me to diversify. And also for somebody like me, a lot of photographers, they want to specialize, and it's probably the best way to go. I love all sorts of photography, so I find it hard to specialize in one thing. I love doing portraits, weddings, landscapes, street photography, all kinds of stuff. So, but if you specialize, that'll help you. If you want to make money at photography, you may want to diversify your portfolio a little bit and get money coming in from different streams. So rather than complaining about, there's every kid with a camera now that, wants to sort of take your job, first of all, develop your own style. And secondly, what about helping them? What about teaching them? What about writing a book or doing some workshops? If you've got knowledge that you can pass on to people that are just coming up in the industry, that does two things. First of all, it gives you another stream of income, because you can charge for workshops and books and videos and what have you. But also it means that you're raising the level of photography skills in your local area, so that everybody is then a better photographer. Nobody's giving away their work anymore, because now they feel confident to charge better money. Everybody's rates go up and everybody has a more secure income. So rather than seeing the kid with the camera as being a threat to your industry, how's about teaching the kid with the camera how to use it better, and then they can charge money, and then everybody's a winner. So there's all sorts of ways, but I never complain about these things, because we're living in the world we live in. You can't turn the clock back. You can't live in 1982. There's no point in trying. So, it is the world that we live in. And I think it's very exciting times. The fact that you can now put all your work online, it can be seen by anywhere in the world. You can fly all over the world cheaply and take great pictures with amazing cameras. And that's fantastic. This is the first time in our human history that we've had such exciting possibilities as photographers. So I don't find much to complain about.
Okay. Teaching people how to do things is something I did when I was a travel agent. I wrote a book and I did public speaking about how to use the internet to be your own travel agent. And
great stuff. Yeah.
I went up to see another travel company about having a joint partnership. And I mentioned the book, and they said it's the most stupidest thing anybody's ever done. I was thinking about having it on top of the cover, because people are going to do it themselves, and I want to make sure they don't waste their money by having the wrong holiday. And if they do have a problem, they'll know next time to come to me. But if I just say, right, ignore them, they're just going to go to a different website and have the same experience over and over again. But
exactly.
You just teach people, and then they understand what you do. They don't just think you just click a picture, you just click the shutter, and that's all you do, because they then understand all the work that you've done behind the picture. It works.
To get to the point, you're 100% right. And by teaching people, you're helping them, you're adding value to them, and then you've got that trust with them. They see you as somebody that is a valuable person, that's a knowledgeable person. You've demonstrated what you can do, and so then when they are in a position to need you, then they can come along. And it's the same. It works in almost every industry. It's crazy. There was a guy who makes very high end film. Like cinema gear, and he makes these kind of like cinematic sliders that move the cameras along on these sort of dolly rails, and they cost like 15 grand or something. They're for big Hollywood productions and what have you. And he made a YouTube video on his channel about how you can make a knockoff version of his own kit for like 100 quid out of stuff you could get from B&Q or whatever it was. And so everybody said, mate, you're an idiot. Why you just, undercut your own product? Nobody's going to buy the 15 grand one. Now they're going to go and buy 100 quid worth of plumbing gear and sellotape, make it themselves at home. And he said, well, look, there's so many filmmakers out there that can't afford to spend 15 grand on these sliders yet. But if they do a really cool job with the cheap one, then at the point, if they then get better and they continue in filmmaking, there will probably be a time in their lives when they get to the point in their career that they want this decent gear, and they may well remember that, I had one I made my hand. If I could get the real one, that'd be great. And so they're going to go to this dude rather than anybody else, because he's demonstrated his expertise, he's done something, he's provided value to these people, and it's all about that. If, in any business, if you can provide value up front for people without asking anything in return, it's so you get back off that a surprising amount. It's just a better way to do business.
You said you're a photography geek, so what do you enjoy most? Getting a new bit of kit or taking a great photo?
Well, I mean, as a photography geek, I mean, we all suffer from this thing called GAS, which is gear acquisition syndrome. We're sort of in joke in the industry that we're all, and I'm waiting today for the postman to arrive because there's a new lens coming, so I'm super excited about that. But it is the pictures. I mean, for me, there's something inside me that gets super excited, and is excited now when I take a picture and it's good, it's really good, and they're few and far between, the really good ones. Ansel Adams once said if he got 12 good photos a year, he considered a good year, and he's Ansel Adams. What hope the rest of us got, right? But if you get these few, and I'm as excited when I see a good photo now as I was when I picked up my very first camera when I was like 6 years old, and it's something that drives me. And because we're always we're on this kind of drive to improve all the time with our photography, and so there's this wonderful knowledge that our best photos are still inside us. It's just honing our skills to the point where we can get to them, and we don't know when that's going to be, and we've never ever arrived at that point where we think, okay, I'm done now, I can take half decent pictures, I'm all right now, I'm going to stick where I am. We're always after that next little bit, and so that's just the thing that I love so much. And when you do get that, and it works, and the lighting's right, and the expression's right, and the mood is right, and the composition's right, and everything just works, it's such a satisfying feeling when it really describes something that's in your soul and you manage to create that in pixels. It's just a wonderful feeling. It really is.
So how can we find out more about your workshops and your work?
So if you go to mattwidgery.com, and then if you go mattwidgery.com/workshops, that will give you all the workshops and the holidays that are on there, and you can look up and see what I do.
Okay, well, great. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for your time.
Oh, thanks, John. I really appreciate it.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, I'm checking in for my flight.
Lovely. Business or pleasure?
Holiday.
And where will you be staying?
With my parents, they live over there.
Lovely. Travel insurance?
Oh, no thanks.
Have you got travel insurance?
No.
Checked to see if you need any vaccinations?
No.
Checked out the local laws?
No, look. Why do I need to know all this? I'm just staying with my parents.
Is either of your parents A local lawyer, or the chief of police, B, fabulously wealthy, C, the owner of a private plane with its own fully trained medical staff, or D, none of the above?
D?
Lovely. Are you a superhero and in fact immortal?
Things can go wrong on holiday abroad, even if you're staying with family. So check it out before you check in. Find out more at gov.uk/knowbeforeyougo.
Matt's website will be posted at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. I recommend that you do have a look and watch some of his YouTube videos. They're very informative and quite entertaining. Although I would personally prefer it if you keep playing my podcast over and over again to hear the photography tips. But if you don't want to do that, then check out Matt's YouTube channels. There'll be links as well on facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Very small travel news section this week because of all the great content that Matt shared with us. So I'm not going to bother doing the jingles or anything. A few days on the 9th of March, the Foreign and Commonwealth Office issued a travel advice about the European Football Championships that are coming up and some tips. And they did say that a lot of people who are planning to go have not booked any accommodation yet. So this is why this announcement from Gascon Cycling Tours, who you may remember were on my show a couple of weeks ago, about the accommodation could be very handy for you if you're popping over to watch the football. So the press release says, due to the acute shortage of accommodation surrounding the European Championships in France this summer, Gascon Cycling Tours are delighted to offer a weekend package from their medieval farmhouse in Leguers, I'm sure I've pronounced that wrongly, to take a limited number of fans for the following matches. So they've got Wales v Slovakia, which is at Bordeaux on the 11th of June, Republic of Ireland against Belgium, which is also in Bordeaux on the 18th of June. On the 26th of June is the last 16 game between the winner of Group F and the runner-up of Group E, which is going to be in Toulouse. And also for the quarter-final on the 2nd of July at Bordeaux, they have a limited accommodation there too. The packages will include coach transfer to and from the match, accommodation on an all-inclusive basis, plus some relaxation on the local golf course or in the luxurious mineral spas. The prices at the moment are expected to be approximately €1,475 for a 5-night break. If you're interested, please do email Gascon Cycling Tours at gasconcycling@gmail.com, and I will be putting this up on the Facebook page as well, so you can read it and make more sense of it than the way I read things out. If you have any great holiday photographs you want to share, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show's the place to put them so we can all have a look. If you've got some really bad ones, do that too, so we can all have a giggle if you feel up to it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed what Matt had to share this week, and you join me next time on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com, where each week I'm checking it out before you check in.